everybody, it's Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're getting ready to do another one of the beginner junk journaling videos, and this one is going to be on distress inks, inking. And so here's my main one I use. It's all messy because I use it all the time. It's the Tim Holtz Distress Ink Vintage Photo. Sorry, I should know because I use it all the time. Anyway, it's the main one. If you don't get any other distress ink, you could get away with just having this one. They have two sizes. They have a big one and a small one. I suggest you get the bigger one. And I'll show you some things you can do with it in just a second. Hey you guys, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're continuing our series on easy junk journaling in 11 steps. This is step 3, and it is inking, and it's one of the most fun ones. And so we're going to talk today about, and I'm going to bring my ugly, I got my pretty ones here. This is the one I use all the time. This is called Vintage Photo Distress Ink. These are by a company called Ranger. And of course they have Tim Holtz's name on everything. Tim Holtz is the rock star of junk journaling. And so I have a lot of different colors. Now I use this one a lot, so I went ahead and bought the large size of it. They make 2 sizes, and someone suggested to me that I start out with the small ones, and I'm glad I did, because a lot of these you don't use very often. So I'm going to show you, and I have to tell you too, I'm not an expert at inking, and that's just so you know, you don't have to be an expert. But I am going to show you what happens when you ink. So kind of the idea of inking is we want most of these journals, we want them to look vintage. I like grunge, which is just a more worn look. I like a lot of texture with tea staining and the ink on the edges and torn paper and just grunge. So mine are a little messier, but you don't have to make yours messy. You can make them as tidy as you want to. But this all has the distress inks on the edge. And a couple of them have been missed. And so I'm just going to show you, like this one, for instance. I did some of it, but I missed. I'm going to go back over it, and I don't mind a good amount of distress ink. Now, this is a makeup sponge, just so you know. You don't have to have special tools. Now I drank the Kool-Aid, and I bought the special daubers by Tim Holtz and Ranger, and they come in a set of 2 generally, and they have these little daubers that go on, and I'm flipping these over. I wanted you all to see the colors, so I flipped these over, but normally when you store these, you store them upside down so the ink is right at the top where you want it. But you'll get, like, I forget how many of these, 20 maybe. And these have Velcro. They stick on these daubers. And then this foam is washable. You can take these down and wash them out in the sink with some dish soap. And you dip this on your ink, and then you smudge the edges with it. So that's kind of the general principle of it. And so when I first started, I didn't want to go buy all these special things. So I had heard people say you could use makeup brushes, and they do, and you can, and they work. So here are some makeup brushes I've used in the past and I still use. This ink is water-based. It doesn't dry. It doesn't get all hard. It stays like flexible, so it doesn't hurt anything to leave them out. And so you can use these from the dollar store that come in a big package, and you tear them apart if you want to. There's another kind like this that you can use. These are kind of small though, I think. I'm not a big fan of those, but you can use them. Here, see, here's what I'm talking about. You pull these apart and use those. And the only thing is, these makeup sponges tend to come apart. Like, they wear out and they start to break up in little pieces, and you get this mess, this crumbs, so to speak, if you aren't careful. But enough of that. So let's just say you just want to get the very basic inking. Go buy yourself a little box of this Vintage Photo. Get yourself a makeup sponge. And you just kind of go over the edges. And like I said, I'm not an expert, so I'm kind of bad about getting marks, but it doesn't bother me, which is good because I haven't mastered it. Some of them, like if you watch Tim Holtz do it online, he's very good at just getting it blended out really good, and there's no marks. As you can see, that doesn't happen when I do it. But I like to kind of flick it on the edge like that, and I get a decent blended edge doing that generally. And I don't want it perfect anyway. I want it to kind of look like it's done by hand. So I'm going to go back over this one just a little bit more. You can go over it as much, make it as dark as you want. So that's that one. Now here's a piece I haven't done yet, and go ahead and this is the Salvation Prayers folio from my Heaven kit, all put together. So when you get these things all put together, you'll want to go over them. And it just makes them look old and aged. And so that's all there is to inking. It's not difficult. And again, perfection is not required, thank goodness. And it's up to you how much you want to put on or how little. Now when I put this together, I did all the pieces, so you'll see that it got on the edge here, which you want to be sure and do that before you put a thing like this together. But I just like to give it one final swipe with the ink. And it also dries fairly quickly. So I'm just going to set it over here. And then here's some more. These pockets, now these came in my kit. I went ahead and distressed them digitally. So there's already distressing around the edges. But when you cut things out, you get like a little white edge. So it's always good to go back over all your pieces with this distress ink. It just tidies it up, makes them look better. And I don't know why, but this ink just kind of adds some life to it. Kind of brings the colors out and everything. And I like to get the corners really well. Okay, so those are done. Now here's some cards that we glued, I talked about in the last episode. And actually, I think these need to be trimmed just a little bit. I talked about how when you glue them together, they never exactly line up, it seems like to me. So you can trim off the little white edges, but it's also, if you take the ink, it hides it and you'll never see it. So trim if it's a substantial white line, but if it's not, then just know that your ink will cover it up. Okay, so I'll get these out of the way. Back with your brown vintage photo, but you can also use colors, and that's what all these little squares are. And the thing is, you won't use them as much, but I will tell you the colors I have used quite a bit. And the greens that I have here, pine needles, shabby shutters, and bundled sage go really well together, and I've used those three a lot. I mean, relatively speaking, of the colored inks. I've used them a lot. Of course, the neutral inks are always important too. So I'll show you what I mean. So like, move this out of the way, put the lid on it. I think I'm going to try Mermaid Lagoon. Now here's another thing. When you get these inks, you want to create a little palette for yourself. And this, mine's kind of messy, but I just took a piece of paper and kind of went like this on a piece of just like printer paper. And just so I knew what color it was, because you can't really tell from the label. So, and then I cut them apart and I just wrote, it's not fancy, and stuck them on a card. And then I keep those in the boxes, because these are upside down generally, because the ink, you want them to go to the bottom. So you won't be able to see the tops. This way, I have this up here and I know this is this, which colors, what they look like, and I can just quickly grab the ones that I need. So that's the way you need to go about that. I'm going to try the Mermaid Lagoon. This has kind of a sky blue. So I'm going to go ahead and use, now here's the other thing about these daubers. Ranger Ink designed them so that the little things fit up inside these little ink things. So you can keep them with them and reuse them, and you don't have to keep washing them out every time, which is really nice. And that's what finally made me go and buy them, because that is pretty handy. So the other thing are these tins. I was determined not to buy things I didn't need, so I resisted buying these tins, but I have to say they're really nice. They have little spacers in them for each little box, and it's easy to get boxes out. They've allowed just the right amount of room around them so you can pick them up. So do what you want. That may be down the road purchase. Remember, Hobby Lobby has a 40% off coupon, so every time you go, drag your husband in there. He gets one item at 40% off. You get one item at 40% off. So go in and get yourself a bottle of glue. Go in and get yourself a little tin. You know, it doesn't have to be a big expensive item. And just take your time. And if you're on a budget, you can save money that way and still get things that you need. So I'm going to see, the color doesn't jump out as much, but it does show. And I'm going to also use the shabby shutters, I think. Let me see. Now see, here's the other reason you want to use this. I think I want the shabby shutters for my bottom part. So I have the other dauber, thanks to Tim Holtz. And so I'm going to smear that color on the edges at the bottom. And it's subtle, but it kind of enhances the color if you add the colors to them. So here's here's kind of the comparison of what they look like with the Distress inks. And actually, I think I could probably hit that green a little harder. Or maybe I have the wrong green. Let me try the other one. Maybe that looks better. I'll try it on this one. Pretty subtle, I'll say that. Not really a lot of difference. I think I like this one better. And, you know, if you really wanted to, you could. Let me try it with this. When you take these off, hold your finger on that Velcro, because it's only on there with that staple, and if you don't hold it down and you tear these off, it'll tear this off eventually. I heard Tim Holtz say that. So that's a piece of advice from the master. And I'm going to try, just for fun, I might regret this, I'm going to try this pine needles. And I need to be subtle and careful with this because it's a lot darker green and doesn't match exactly, but it might enhance it. So, yeah, it's giving me, oh, I really like it actually. Okay, so that's given me, like that a lot better. You can actually see it for one thing. Okay. All right, so let's see. What do you think? I like it. I'm gonna go on and I have 4, whoops, see what I mean? I get carried away and hit it too hard, but it's all right. I'll just blend it out a little bit. This is trying to come off of my Velcro. This one's got more ink on it too, this ink pad. So something else you want to check out. Kind of test it before you get too carried away. Because they have different amounts of ink and different, like some of them are just really juicy. Have a lot of ink in them, and others are kind of dry. And so that's why you want to do them upside down. But also if they're dry, you can, of course, here's another product, but again, 40% off. You can get this Distress Refresher. It says it extends the life of your Distress products. So you just let it spray on there one time and absorb in there, and that will make it a little bit more wet too. So, all right, and then I'm going to go back to my Mermaid ink. Finish the tops of these. Haven't used the brown on some of these. I need to remember to use that too. Ooh, got a little carried away on that. That's all right. And on that one. So I'm just going to kind of circle this around, blend it out. The way they show you on the video is to lay your cards down flat and do this at an angle and do this circular motion, but when I do that, I seem to get big circles on my thing, so I'm not doing it. You can do it if you want to. Give it a try. So I'm going to go back to my vintage photo, finish up these ones that I didn't hit with brown. If you want to just cover up like the white lines, you can just run this along. If you use colors, you could just run this along the edge just to get a little bit of brown and cover the white line. Don't forget the back on these. Some of you that are really neat and tidy and like things perfectly done, you're probably horrified right now seeing the way I do this, but you can do yours that way. You can be very careful and mindful. However you want to do it. But you can see how that white line just disappears when you do that. And you know, as you kind of run these through your fingers and hands, it makes them not as stiff. And so they, again, that's another aging thing that happens, is the more you use, you know, do this to your cards, it makes them softer and look more aged and beat up and nice. So anyway, that is inking. Fun and easy. And I will be back for the next step.